Welcome to RSSDI 2020. I am Dr. Sanjay Kamble, and on behalf of VOCAD RSSDI TV 2020, I welcome you all. I am glad to have with us today a renowned dietitian from Nagpur, Dr. Kavita Gupta. Dr. Kavita is a senior dietitian with more than 2 decades of experience in her practice. She is the head department of therapeutic diabetes nutrition and a nutritionist at Sunil's Diabetes Care and Research Center, Nagpur. Madam is also a certified diabetes educator, and insulin pump trainer. Welcome, Dr. Kavita Gupta, to the show.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Sanjay.
Madam, based on your recent talk in RSSDI 2020, we would like to know why is MNT important and what is the order of intake of macronutrients in the diet of the diabetic patients?
Yes. So let me tell you first, as per ADA guidelines, there is not one size which fits all. So MNT plays a vital role in reducing the HbA1c levels, the weight goals, and also the blood pressure and also the lipid levels. So basically, meal planning, what we dietitians do, is highly individualized as per their culture, as per the preferences of the patient, and as per the lipid goals, or the glycemic goals, what we have for each patient. So basically, there is not any ideal percentage of macronutrients for the patient. So we do not have a particular percentage of maybe carbohydrates or proteins or fats. It is where it's very individualized, and basically when you are talking about the order of eating, so as per the new researches, it has been shown that when you change the order of eating, basically whenever a patient come to us, we always maybe a physician or a dietitian always says, okay, do not eat this, do not eat that. But if we change our way of approach, so if we tell them, okay, rather than not eating this, can we have something else before? So can we have proteins and vegetables before, and then we can have carbohydrates? So I think the acceptability by the patient, the compliance by the diabetics is more. So they are more happy. Okay, we can have everything, but we need to change the order. So proteins and vegetables, so that is the dal and the vegetables or the curd should be first consumed, followed by your roti and rice to have a better glycemic profile.
So, what are the preferred options for oil intake in diabetes patients?
Yes. So again, oil, there are not all oils are bad. I would like to say that few oils are good, few oils are bad. So you need to choose your oils very well. So when we talk about, say, a percentage, but I need to talk about a little bit on the percentage also. So fat, if we say, it should be around 25 to 30% of the total calories intake if the patient is taking. So around less than 7% should be saturated fatty acids. That goes for ghee or your coconut oil or the butter should be less than 7%. And if the patient has dyslipidemia, then we also cut down on the saturated fats. More should be around up to 15% of the total calories should be MUFA. That is canola, olive, groundnut oil, rice bran, and sesame oil. And up to 10% of the oil should be 10% of the total calories should be your PUFA. That goes for cottonseed oil, corn, safflower, sunflower oils. And we have to reduce the minimal intake of trans fatty acids. That should be less than 1% of the energy intake. And that goes for the processed and the bakery fruits and the vanaspati and the margarine. So this has to be very minimal, and the total cholesterol intake should be less than 200 milligrams per day. So a very less amount of maybe the red meat or the yolk, the yellow yolk. White of egg is very good, but the yellow should be avoided. The organ meats, the red meat should be better avoided. So, and even for the oil, there is one more important, the quantity and the quality is also important. So 500 to 750 ml per person per month should be ideal consumption for every person. And rotation of oil is again very important. So a well balanced, a combination of oils should be actually advised to all the diabetics.
So are artificial sweeteners safe to be consumed in diabetes mellitus patients?
Yes, artificial sweeteners are safe. In fact, US FDA has approved a few non-nutritive artificial sweeteners, which are basically your aspartame. You have aspartame, you have S-sulfame potassium, you have sucralose, stevia, saccharine, which are safe. And every artificial sweetener has an acceptable daily intake. So if the patient is consuming those artificial sweetener within that limit, it is absolutely safe. But however, every diabetic should remember that any food made of artificial sweetener do have calories, do have fat, so they cannot overlook, see, suppose a mithai or any laddu, they may feel that that laddu is artificial, has artificial sweetener, so they can consume more, but that's not right. It does have fat, it does have calories, and that would put on to their, to the energy, that would increase their calories and thereby increase their weight as well. And artificial sweeteners do, for some patients you have to actually prescribe through caution, maybe if it is a pregnancy, or if it's a patient or lactating woman, or if the patient has any other comorbid conditions. So with all that in mind, we need to prescribe in caution. But otherwise, in acceptable daily intake, it is quite safe to consume.
Thank you so much for sharing your views, and stay tuned to RSSDI TV 2020 for more recent updates from RSSDI. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Sanjay, and thank you, Vocard, for having us over here. Thank you so much.